What led you to teach?
So my mother and my grandmother are both retired teachers, and I've always been around teaching. Always gone to work with them when school's out. I was always at school, so it was just a natural thing for me to do. I've always loved like taking care of people, and teaching is basically taking care of people. When I was little, I used to like set up my stuffed animals and bears, and I'd have like a chalkboard and a marker, and I'd just be making my own little class. So teaching is all that I've always ever wanted to do.
Okay. How long have you been teaching?
This is my 6.5 year, sixth and a half year. Yeah.
Hey. Is there a specific reason why you're teaching third grade?
So my absolute favorite grade to teach is second grade. But I came to a new school last year, and when I was at my former school, I was in second grade, and I was moved to third grade. Really loved moving with that group of kids to the next grade, and that's called looping in education. And so when I came to my new school, fell in love with these group of kids, and I begged my principal to move me from second grade to third grade. So it's not so much, if I had to say a favorite grade, it would be second grade, but it's not so much the grade, it's really the kids.
What do you like about teaching?
Everything. The fact that I get to teach someone something I get to expose someone to something that they've never been exposed to, and they're literally clean, blank slate, fresh sponge out the package, and I get to pour all the water, all the fresh water into that sponge, and they just soak it up, take it, and then that's their knowledge for the rest of their life, and it's so rewarding to know that I actually did that.
What do you dislike about teaching?
Testing. Absolutely. It's the worst. It's one indicator to measure the growth of our kids, but it is by no means the only indicator that should measure our kids. Right now, it is the biggest indicator, instrument that's used to measure our kids, and it's really the worst because it's a biased, overrated test that they have to take, and we're encouraged to get results and get high test scores, and in order to do that, you have to teach to a test, and I am not going to do that. I never have, I never will, because that doesn't produce globally prepared citizens who can function in this world. So teaching a child how to bubble in and record, like that's not real teaching. So that's my least favorite. It actually drives me nuts because teachers get evaluated based off their test scores. So if my kids don't do well on their end of grade tests, then it's my fault, and then my evaluation will be low. It will be low performing, or I'm a poor teacher. And I know that, no arrogance whatsoever, but I just know that I'm not a poor teacher. And because I can't get my kids to bubble in the right answers on a test, that means I'm a bad teacher. And that means that they're a dumb kid. Not at all.
Are there any challenges you faced?
Hey, at my table. I'll give them to you Monday.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Challenges. Challenges would be at my former school. It was I taught a predominantly white class, and their parents questioned my capabilities because I'm black. Coming to a black school, a predominantly black and brown school, there's no questioning my credentials and my abilities. It's just overcoming all of the influences overcoming all the obstacles that influence our kids' performance. So their parents not having jobs, their parents, the lights being off, their parents not having a job, so the lights are off, their parents being in prison, they're living in the homeless shelter. All of those influences make them, or not having eaten last night, or no one was home to open the door, so they had to sleep on the porch. Like that type of stuff is different hurdles and different challenges at different schools. And that stuff is really hard to navigate, to continue to teach. And then it's also hard to like not take that to heart and like want to take every kid home, and just be their parent, because teaching is like being a parent. It is being a parent. I always say when they go home at the end of the day or go home on the weekend that I'm sending them to their grandparents because I'm their parent all through the day, all through the week for 7 hours a day. How many months are we in school? So yeah, it's a huge challenge.
If you could do anything different to get where you are now, what would it be and why?
Oh gosh, I would have not allowed certain things to influence my academic performance in undergraduate, because I allowed a lot of things to distract me, and it influenced my GPA. And unfortunately, this kind of connects to the testing thing I was talking about earlier, but unfortunately, your GPA speaks for you. And it has made me have to go around, I've run into so many hurdles because my GPA wasn't where I wanted it to be when I graduated. And so if I could do anything, it would have been to just really focus on what needs to happen to make my GPA be where I want it to be, because I was never labeled as like an honor student, but I know that I'm an honor student. I mean, like scholarship after scholarship, and being in honors class after honors class in high school, and you know your own capabilities. Like, you just can't let other people distract you, and realize that what you're doing in college really is real world. Like, I don't think I'm not sure that students in undergrad really understand that so much, that this is really serious, and everything you do in every single class will haunt you for the rest of your life when you get ready to look at that transcript.
Okay, so what is your next step?
Grad school. I really enjoy being in the classroom. I feel like all the great teachers can't leave the classroom, because this is where the magic happens. This is where we get the results. And I imagine that job where I can be in administration, like an assistant principal, where I can be like a curriculum coach, where I'm like sitting with the teachers and helping them realize, helping them understand like what we need to look at to see where we need to do to get where we need to go. And then also, I really love being the classroom teacher, and also supporting the support professionals who support classroom teachers, like bus drivers, cafeteria, teacher assistants, secretaries, all those people. So a job where I could be like all of those things would be fantastic. My ultimate goal, I'll be the first female alumnus chancellor of my alma mater.
I already asked you that. Well, you kind of answered it, but what is your favorite grade to teach?
Second. It's the sweetest grade. They're so precious. Like, they know a lot. They want to know a lot. They're like baby enough to where they still want hugs, but they're wanting to like be mature and do stuff by themselves. Kindergarten, first, whoa. Like, whoa. 3, 4, 5, I like it. But second grade, absolutely precious.
Is there any advice you would like to give?
I would say use your network. You learn how to be resourceful, because your network is will be your resources, and learning how to be resourceful. Don't burn any bridges, because you burn your bridges to your network, you burn your bridges to your resources, and you're gonna need those resources. They will take you places, because unfortunately sometimes it's not very much what you know, it's who you know. But in order to really be impactful, you gotta know your stuff too. So while you know you have a strong network to use those resources, it's also important to know your content. Some other advice I would say is to research. Don't wait for people to send you to a conference or for you to read this book or for you to meet this person who understands this specific part of your job, go find it yourself. Like, nobody needs to tell you to do this. If you know you need it, or if you know it's something that you want to do, go do it. Like, don't wait on nobody, because you wait on people, you'll miss out, you know. And then my last thing would just to be optimistic, because things could always be worse. People ask me every day, how are you? Fabulously amazing, incredible. I'm wonderful, because I'm not dead. I'm not sick. I mean, I kind of got a little electrocuted today at work, but like, I'm still functioning, right? I have a job that I absolutely love. I have a spouse. My husband is incredible. Like, I'm healthy. Things could be worse. Like, and I just think people get in this mindset of complaining, but you gotta be positive. Like, it's contagious. It's infectious. And I think that's what keeps me going, is just realizing the joy that I have. Like, the joy I have, no one can take it away from me. No matter what you try. I mean, no matter what you try to take away, you can't have it. It's mine. I'm going to keep it, and I'm going to use it. And I think that's just, I want people to remember that. Like, be positive, as positive as you can. Like, there are so many opportunities that I have been afforded that I do not qualify for. But my outlook and my faith and my positivity was so infectious to the person who could give me that opportunity, that they were like, give it to her, because she's got it. Like, because if you can get a person to be positive, like, that's all you need. They have to have the will to do something. So, all that to say, be positive.
Thank you.
You're welcome.